Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you all for logging into the Sikh Research Institute webinar today. My name is Gurvinder Singh and I will do introductions and instructions for today's session. The presentation will begin shortly, but before we get started, I wanted to review a few housekeeping items and let you know how you can participate in today's web event. I'll then provide some information about Sikh Research Institute, Jasmine Kaur, and our guest panel before handing over for the main presentation. So what we are looking at is an example of GoToAttendee webinar screen, which is made up of two parts. The viewer part is on the left, which allows you to see everything the presenter will share on your screen, and the control panel is on the right. The audio pane provides audio information. By default, you may have joined the webinar via mic and speakers. If you prefer, you can use audio via telephone by selecting the Use Telephone, and dial-in information will be displayed, which will also include your audio pin. As a reminder, today's webinar is being recorded, and everyone will receive an email within 7 days with a link to view the recording of today's event. If for any reason you experience any technical difficulties during the session and you cannot see the main presentation, for example, please don't hesitate to contact Sikh Research Institute via the chat panel on the right. If you lose your internet connection or have to restart your computer during the session, you can always rejoin the session by clicking on the URL that was sent in your original confirmation email. Finally, at the end of the presentation, we'll launch a testimonial and feedback window, and we'll really appreciate it if you could take a few moments to provide your feedback and comments on how the session went. I'll now provide background to Jasmine Kaur and Sikh Research Institute. Over the last 9 years, SikhRI has focused on community development through programs. You can see SikhRI's metric accomplishments to date on your screen. Essentially, we are about the internal development of Sikh community via education. We are an inclusive resource for you, your family, and community for over 25 million Sikhs worldwide. Today's webinar is free of charge for all attendees because of sponsorship on behalf of Gani Kaur. I strongly urge you to consider donating personally and finding sponsors for future live webinars. You can also donate online on our website at www.sikhri.org. Now I'd like to take a minute to introduce each of the presenters before getting down to the business. Jasmine Kaur is the Director of Education for Sikh Research Institute. She has been in the education field for 15 years, focusing on out-of-school time programs. Jasmine has been active at the Sikh camps and Gurmat and Punjabi schools. Currently, her energies have been devoted to research and development of education material, programming, and resources for use in Sikh education. The Young Khalsa Girls is an organization comprised of young women passionate about community outreach and cultural awareness. They will be discussing their journey of character formation and how they live their traits in their communities. Now, if you have any questions, please send them along with which city you're dialed in from today. If you like to verbally ask your questions, please confirm that you have a microphone, and Jasmine Kaur will give you specifics on Q&A when she begins the presentation. Now, I'd like to hand it over to Jasmine Kaur to begin today's presentation. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh, everyone. Welcome to this Saturday morning, afternoon, and evening for some webinar. We're so glad to have you here with us today. As I begin to get set up with the next presentation, can I please get a confirmation from Coach Lena that you are able to hear us correctly?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. I'm going to put you back on mute. Okay, so today's webinar is a little different in the sense that if you've been to SikhRI webinars before, you know that we kind of have a presentation and at the end we do a Q&A session. Today's webinar is a mix of that. We do have a short presentation and then we're It's with pleasure that I say that we have a young team of girls between the ages of 10 and 12 who are here with us, and we are going to be asking them questions on their group and some of the values that have helped develop their group. We also want others to have an opportunity to ask questions. So if you do have a question, feel free to write your question in the question panel or the chat panel and send it to Sikh Research Institute. If you would like to verbally ask the question, please identify the fact that you have a microphone and also which city you're asking the question from. Please note that we are a little bit limited on time because we're doing the presentation and already have a set of questions, but we want to make sure that you're able to ask questions as well. But if the questions are not able to be answered within the webinar, you're very welcome to send us an email, and we'll make sure those questions are answered completely. So with that, with the technicalities out of the way, let me begin. Today, the topic of this webinar is Sikhi in thought, word, and deed. And it's so important that, we have kind of been trained to think about, this is what Sikhi is. But somehow it seems like a thing of the past, or somehow it seems like things used to happen a certain way and maybe they're not applicable today. But you know what? In the world, the highest impact that anything makes is the impact to show what you can do through your actions. The phrase, words speak louder than action. This is a very common phrase, whether it's Sikhi, whether it's other moral ideas. But from a Sikh perspective, what Guru Sahib is really trying to express to us is that if you want to recognize the divine, if you want to spread the word of what the divine is, of who the divine is and what the divine is within you, then your good actions and your good characters and values is what is going to bear that fruit. So if our desire is to identify with the divine, then it's this good character and good actions that will get us where we need to get. So this idea of truthful living, where does this come from? From a set of strong values, from ultimately knowing that this is what we as adults want to leave behind for our children. The stronger your character, the more growth in your character. And once there's growth in your character, the impact of your actions is a given. So what is the lesson over here? That Guru Sahib has taught us we need to walk the talk. It's not only about saying, okay, this is what values should be, this is what characteristics should be, but it's really about living it. It's about actually working at it. And, as we know, the Sakhi of Guru Sahib and Sajjan Thug, that if we want to see, how he has transformed this thug, this robber, from, a person who deceives people into a friend of the Guru, into the friend of Vaheguru. Where and why are these things, needed? So we know that integrity and conduct and character and values are absolutely needed in the world. But how do we then pass it on to our children? So if you notice, there is, if many of you either are young children and go to schools, or many of you are parents, a lot of your schools actually have something called a character education program. And what is this character education program? Well, basically, it's a national movement, that how do we teach universal values to our children? There are existing programs like character counts, confidence builders, a few different programs like that. And each of them, they do uh, strive to teach you, or their general objectives are really that they want to foster ethical, caring, and responsible citizens. There's really no difference for what we as individuals want as well. How do we create building blocks for all stages of life? These are the main things that we want to figure out. So why is there a need for character education? Why are we talking, from a Sikh perspective? Ki lord hegi hai isdi? Well, what used to happen earlier on is that it used to be taught through osmosis. Kinda ek duje nu dekh ke, ho jandi si. But the societal pressures have increased somehow so much that now it requires this formalized teaching. And this is a statistic we want to share with you. I think this will hit hard to a lot of us. Studies show that children spend 38.5 minutes a week in meaningful conversations with parents, while they spend 28.8 hours watching TV a week. If they're spending only 38.5 minutes in meaningful conversation with their parents, how much are they really learning from us? How much are they really taking away from us? And whereas they're spending 28.8 hours watching TV, what are they taking from there? And unfortunately, currently, it is not the case that our TV is teaching them their values. The responsibility is ours as parents, as adults, as a community. So what's the need for the Sikh community? Similar to what other children are facing, our community is also facing societal issues. Their academic pressures. We as a culture, our focus of parents is that we expect our children to do much better than anyone else. And yes, there's merit in that, but are we pressuring them to the point where perhaps we're not realizing that they have all these social pressures that they're dealing with and how we can help them with it? Bullying is a large issue in our community, of course, and we're at the same time developing identity issues because not only because we're Sikh and we may look different, but anyone in the teenage years is going through an identity issue. So what is our goal here? Our goal here is to inspire our children to be more guru-oriented. When we can understand, when we can help them understand the ways and the lives of the gurus, then we can inculcate in them the values that highlight our gurus. So our focus, maybe we as a community need to develop an education program that can also teach values, and this is something that Sikh Research Institute is working towards. So what are these values that we often think of? From a Sikh perspective, Bhai Nand Lal Ji, who was a contemporary of Guru Gobind Singh Sahib, he identified that, each Guru Sahib had a very particular core value that really stood out for that Guru Sahib. Does that mean that each of our Guru Sahibs did not have the other core values? Absolutely they did. They had all these values, and that's why they could be who they are. But in his kind of poetic way of expressing to us, what was it about each Guru Sahib that took them from humility, starting with Guru Nanak Sahib, to courage with Guru Gobind Singh Sahib? That each one of them had the humility of Guru Nanak Sahib to know that even though the entire world was calling him the guru of the gurus, that he was the ultimate humble person. His humility was unmatched. That it didn't matter what the world was saying to him, but his actions were all focused on how he didn't consider himself higher than anyone else. So what we thought we would do is, for the purposes of the webinar, as well as for the purposes of perhaps developing a program, is focus on some of these values that we want to start out with. Equality, for example, treating fairly and with respect. Courage, standing up for principle. Justice, standing up for what's right. Compassion. How do we see love in action? What is love in action? Service, helping fellows. Is it about doing seva only in the langar hall? Or is it helping the rest of the humanity? And humility, others above yourself. So let's look at these. When we're thinking of equality, Guru Sahib is reminding us that, you know what? How is it that, you feel that a king and a poor beggar are different when it's that same wind that is equally being blown on themselves? When it's that divine that lives within both the king and the beggar. And a perfect example of this is Guru Nanak Sahib in the Janeo ceremony. Even at a very young age, he was able to speak up and say, you know what, this is not right. Why is it that I, being a male, it's so important to me for me to wear this Janeo, whereas my sister is not going to be able to wear it unless she's married? What is the lesson that we're learning over there? That even as a little kid, he's able to stand up and he's able to point out to us that, you know what, we need to start thinking about our actions that we do in our own houses. This reminds me, I have boy and girl twins, and Shuru my young son, little son, they're only 9 months old. He would often get scared by little, noises, and he would, startle easily and cry easily. And some of the response that we would get from community members or friends or extended family was, "Oye, tu munda hai, tu roya na kar." It seems very innocent. It seems very, this is the way the world works. But what are we teaching our children? What are we saying? Because you're a guy, it is not okay for you to be scared, or it's not okay for you to be weak. But you know what? If you were a woman, it would be okay to do that. We don't often think of this. We say things innocently, but what is that impact it makes on showing inequality versus equality? That's something that we need to start thinking about. Courage. Guru Nanak Sahib, he often in the Sikh community is seen as the Siddha Sada Baba, right? But here he is. He sees the atrocities that are going on by Babur. He gets arrested and he's put into jail, and he has the extreme courage to actually get together the Sangats and have them concentrate on how this is incorrect and how this is not okay. He creates a ruckus in the jail and he gets thrown out by Babur. And then the most important weapon of all he uses is the weapon of his word. He says, you know what? The time to say the truth, the time to point out that something is wrong, is not after the case. It is when the situation is needed. Speak the truth when it is most needed. So this is the kind of examples that we need to inculcate in our children. Why we should be sure that they are not afraid of standing up for what they believe, for what their principles are. It's easier for us to kind of help them say, oh, koi nahi, it's okay, you don't have to say anything right now, we can think about it later on, because that's the easy way out. But these are not the examples that our Guru Sahibs were sharing with us. Justice. Standing up for what's right. You know what? Who is considered a hero? That who is willing to, that who stands for those who are not represented, for those who cannot stand up for themselves. Pailalo and Guru Nanak Sahib, the Sakhi goes, as you know, that Malik Pago had invited Guru Sahib to his house and Guru Sahib didn't go. And when Malik Pago gets angry and he comes and he says, you know, how could you do this? Guru Sahib very calmly, through imagery, explains to him that I stand with, I represent that individual who is able to, who is willing to work through humility and work through love, as opposed to that individual who connives and does and hurts or takes advantage of others. These are the kind of examples that we need to keep reminding our children about. And compassion, love in action. When we see how Guru Har Rai Sahib feels about the animals and the nature around him, this compassion is just so visible. And we often are so, what's the word I'm looking for here? We're so go in life that we don't even stop to see what kind of trees we have around us, what kind of animals we have around us. So the lesson here is really acting in genuineness, not being empathetic to someone because, you know what, that'll look good. That will be something that that'll make us stand out. But genuinely, if you have a feeling for something, genuinely if you're able to show your love in action, that because the divine is within you and you want to serve humanity, that it just automatically comes to you. How do we figure out a way to inculcate that within ourselves and our children? Service. Seva. This is a big word that, you know, we in Sikhi use a lot. We really talk about it, you know, when we're sharing with non-Sikhs, the word seva comes up a lot. Well, we have to figure out, you know, what kind of seva is really solution-oriented? What kind of seva is really making the most impact? Is it the seva of making langar in our Gurduaras? Or is it the seva of stepping out and reaching out to the community which needs the langar that we're bringing langar to? And if we start thinking about Guru Harkrishan Sahib, a young child with clarity to know that there was a plague in Delhi and the need of the time was to help them. Need of the time was to serve them. That's what creates honor. You know, usually we like to do seva because, you know, that's what we're taught to do, or by doing seva we feel like we'll get something in return, perhaps get some honor. But the real seva is when you do it, when you're focused on the most impact that it's going to make. We spoke a little bit about humility already. Guru Amar Das Sahib, he was a 75-year-old individual, and Baba Datuji, he came by and he kicked Guru Amar Das Sahib because he was jealous. He kicked Guru Amar Das Sahib. He's 75 years old. He's almost like his Dadaji. And he says, "Oh, my dear son, I hope you're okay. I hope my bones, now that I'm a frail man a little bit, I hope my bones haven't hurt you." He showed his humility by showing respect to Baba Datuji, but also showing him that, you know what, maybe we need to think about our actions, that we don't have to do everything with complete proudness. It's okay to have pride, but not to have pride above everyone else. It's okay to take pride in what you do, but not be proud. So we have to recognize what our limitations are and always stay humble. And we have a lot of examples in Sikhi, right? But particularly, and I think it's apt that today we talk about the Sahibzade, the Vadde Sahibzade and the Chote Sahibzade. What did they have? They had a clarity of their vision and their purpose, right? When the Chote Sahibzade were asked by the emperor to see, if we let you go, what are you going to do? And they said, oh, we are going to go out of here. We're going to leave. We're going to put a group of people together to fight injustice. They didn't say, oh, nothing. If you let us go, we won't tell anyone about you. We'll just, go be really good kids. Why were they able to do that? They were able to do that because they were aware of what Sikhi principles were. And who was able to help them get to this understanding of who Sikhi principles were? Is it because, they were born to gurus that it just came to them? No, the gurus, the guru families, they inculcated these Sikhi principles by living it, not by saying it. Mataji reminded them of these principles. She reminded them of their fathers and their forefathers. But they, even as little children, were seeing this as part of their life. There was a clear commitment to the Guru Granth and the Guru Panth. And there was an area of self-sacrifice and fearlessness for them to know not to bow their head when they go in. These are the kind of examples that we have to look at so that we can take inspired action, so that we can make an impact in the world. So, these are things for us to think about. We want to definitely do these. We want to leave a legacy behind for our children. And sometimes it's not easy for us to know, where do we begin? Where do we start? So everyone in their own way figures out a small way to start. And one group of girls who we'll be talking to in a few minutes is Young Khalsa Girls. And they are a group of girls between the ages of 10 and 12, elementary and middle school girls whose parents, whose families, who themselves have said, you know what, we want to do something. We want to make some kind of a difference. And let's talk to them and let's hear from them as to what their kind of journey has been along this. So I am going to ask them questions. I'm going to begin with their coach, Coach Lena. Thank you very much, girls, and Coach Lena and the other parents for being on with us today. This is going to be a great opportunity for everyone to know about you and to understand what you know what we should be thinking about when we're thinking about values, and how in our own ways we can each make a little bit of a difference. So let me begin with Coach Lena. And Coach Lena, can you tell us what is Young Khalsa Girls and why did you create it? And I'm going to unmute her so that, okay, go ahead, Coach Lena.
Sat Sri Akal, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you to Sikh Research Institute and especially Jasmine for coordinating this for Young Khalsa Girls and giving them this opportunity. Young Khalsa Girls, as they like to call themselves YKG, it's a group of 10 to 12-year-old girls who came together for the passion of service and seva. It was initiated by the girls, and they are the ones who wanted to make a difference. We were going to attend a fundraiser, and a lot of the parents were going. And we encouraged the girls to go with us, and they said, well, how are we making a difference? What are we really doing just by attending? We want to do something. We want to help. That's how the group came about. So it's a group initiated by the girls, and as parents, and as they generally call me their coach, we are there to help them and guide them. We want to really encourage our youth to incorporate the values that we talk about in our daily lives at the Khalsa school, at the Gurduara, to really incorporate these in their lives as they go about their daily activities. As you mentioned earlier, Jasmine, we want them to practice these values and do the deeds in their daily lives, in their schools, with their friends, with their communities, and not just be talking about them. And that's how the group came about. And they're just very passionate girls, and we are very proud that they're trying to take these initiatives on their end.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach Lena. My first question is for Preetham Kaur. And Preetham Kaur, can you tell us, was there something that triggered YKG to come about?
Jasmine
Preetham,
G, is she unmuted?
No, she's not unmuted. So if you can hold on for just 1 minute. Okay, go ahead, Preetham Kaur. Sorry about that.
Sat Sri Akal. Hi, my name's Preetham Kaur. This group came together for a desire of helping others. During the summer, we were having a sleepover. When we heard our moms on the phone talking about giving scholarships through Sikh Human Development Fund to students who couldn't afford college, we decided that we wanted to help. We sent an email to friends and family, went to our neighbors, and posted flyers informing them all about SHDF. We were all passionate about helping, so we came together as YKG.
Excellent. So can you tell us about how much you were able to make for everyone? How much money you were able to collect for the education in Punjab?
We were able to sponsor 35 children.
35 children. That's wonderful. Excellent. Thank you so much. My next question is for Sital Kaur. And Sital Kaur, can you tell us what kind of values do you need to be part of YKG?
Hello and Sat Sri Akal. My name is Sital Kaur. We agreed as a group on the 5 pillars for YKG. They are humbleness, unity, seva, courage, and honesty. To us, seva is the most important. Seva is work you do selflessly. When you do seva, you shouldn't expect anything in return. Also in the Guru Granth Sahib, a lot of importance is given to seva. Seva karat hoye nekami, disko hot parapat swami. We get our motivation from Mother Teresa and Bhaikanayaji. Mother Teresa because she was part of the first Red Cross. Bhaikanayaji because he gave water to everyone on the battlefield in Anandpur, even the Mughals. These are some of the values that we want to incorporate in every aspect of our lives.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sital Kaur. Ria Kaur, can you tell us what is important about these values?
Hi, my name is Ria Kaur. Our values are important because they are a reflection of Sikh values so we can become better individuals. These values teach us right from wrong. They help us stand for our beliefs and teach us to work together. As a group, we can get more done than just by ourselves. These values help us no matter what we are doing or playing at school or in anything we do.
Excellent. So even when you are at school, you're still thinking about these values?
Yeah.
Yes, excellent. And how many do you have in your group, you said?
We have 10.
10. Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ria Kaur.
You're welcome.
And just a reminder to everyone that as we're going through questions, if you have other questions that come up, you feel free to put it in the question panel for us, and we can have the girls or Coach Lena respond to them. Avneet Kaur, can you tell us how would you assure that members stay true to the YKJ values?
Hi, my name is Avneet Kaur, and I like to answer this question. We as individuals need to take responsibility for our actions. Also, we all correct each other when we tend to judge one another. This way, we can stay respectful to each YKG member and to every other person in this world. Also, this helps to get rid of ego if we have it. Furthermore, we treat others the way we want to be treated, to help us be more respectful and humble. I would like to end this answer with some quotes that come to my mind. One is, be thankful for all the struggles we go through. They make you stronger, humble, and wiser, which is exactly what YKG is all about. Don't let it break you, let it make you. Another quote is mentioned in the 7th Bodhi of the Japji Sahib. No matter what hardships in life you go through, Vaiguruji is always with you.
Excellent. Thank you. Can I ask you, Avneet Kaur, or anyone on the group of girls, what are some things that help you assure that you're staying true to your values? Do any of you maybe have an example of when you thought, you were going to not be true to your value, and you kind of said, oh, I have to think about it this way, or I have to do this in order to stay true to your value? Would any of you like to think about that and maybe share with us?
Sat Sri Akal, my name is Charina Kaur, and the way I remember my values is before I say or do anything, I always think back to myself, what am I doing, and is this the right thing to do?
Excellent. Good. Thank you. Anyone else wanted to share anything? Excellent. Should we move on then? Okay. I have a question for...
Jasmine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Jasmine ji.
Yes.
Sorry, Avneet just wanted to respond to that as well.
Okay, sure. Avneet, come on, please.
I make sure that I stay true to our values. When I'm doing something, I think, as Serena said, I think back to myself, is this gonna help everyone learn? Is everyone gonna learn from this? Is everyone gonna help stay humble and to the other pillars that Sito mentioned before?
Very nice. Excellent. Do you think, this is another question that's kind of coming up because of the answers you guys are giving. Do you think that because of YKG and the pillars that you have, that you're starting to think about these things more outside of when you're with the YKG group?
Do you think that you're thinking about these things more because of YKG and that you're talking about it? Do you feel like anybody wants to raise their question? Yes. Go ahead. Say your name. Hello.
Sashika, my name is Ishika,
Uh-huh.
and I do think that it helps me remember because I usually close my eyes and think about, is it gonna help people around me, and what is it doing to them?
Excellent. Wonderful. Wonderful. Maybe a little later I'll ask you about what you guys do in your meetings, and then that can help us understand a little better how it helps everyone. So let me go to the next question, who is for Preeta Kaur. And Preeta, can you tell us what kind of projects has YKG done?
Hi, my name is Preeta Kaur. Well, we are passionate about education, so we wanted to raise money for students in India. We participated in a project with Sikh Human Development Funds. Our goal was to support one student, but Waheguru helped us support 35 students. We walked for autism as we wanted to raise awareness for this important cause. We participated in a group project with Core Foundation. We wanted to educate others about Sikhism. This was an opportunity to tell others about Sikhs. It was a way to help our brothers so they don't get teased. We presented information about Sikhism to our schools and invited our educators to the gala.
Excellent. And can I ask you, do you think that Sikh girls also get teased?
Yeah, we do get teased because some kids, we look different from other kids, but we also wanted to help our brothers because they look a lot different from other boys.
Okay, yeah, because they have the stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Ishika, can you tell me what your YKG's plans are for the next 2 years?
We meet every month and come up with different projects to help our community, but also to support different causes. We would like to support causes that we are passionate about. Some projects that are planned: feeding the homeless, helping the elderly, giving encouraging gifts to children suffering from various diseases, such as cancer. To create awareness about muscular dystrophy, we will come up with others, I'm sure.
Excellent. And how do you decide on which projects you want to do? Anyone can answer this question.
Hi, it's Cecil again, and well, to decide what projects we do, we pretty much just brainstorm, and then we'll just pretty much just narrow it down to a few, and then vote, unanimously vote. So, yeah.
Excellent. And maybe others can share this too, or you can share this, Cecil, as well, that why do you pick the kind of projects that you just shared with us, about cancer, maybe helping kids with cancer, or awareness about muscular dystrophy? What is important to you about these that you want to focus on these for maybe the next couple of times?
Hi, it's me, Preetham.
Uh-huh.
And we decide which projects we want to do because first we think of the causes that we want to work for. And we're also passionate about the values that we chose.
So these values are helping you decide which projects to pick?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, Sehajleen Kaur, can you tell me how committed you are to making YKG a successful group?
Sat Sri Akal. Hi, my name is Sajleen, and I'd like to answer this question. I'm very committed to make YKG a successful group because I believe in its values, and I want to make this a better world. I want to make sure to help others as our success lies in helping them and making their lives better. It's not about us, it's about seva and compassion towards them.
Excellent. Ishar, can you think of some examples from Sikh history that motivate YKG?
Sat Sri Akal. My name is Ishar Kaur. First of all, I would like to thank Jasmine Auntie for putting this all together. We have many examples such as courage, shown by Chote Sahibzades. It teaches us about standing up for our beliefs. Gender equality was taught to us by our third guru, Guru Amar Das Ji, by abolishing the Sati and Parda system. It always motivates me that our Gurujis did not underestimate the power of girls. Third, equality among all humankind was taught to us by Guru Nanak Dev Ji through many examples. Langar is one great way for everyone to come and eat together, regardless of their race, religion, or color. There are many more examples that motivate us. Our history is full of them.
Excellent. And can you tell me, you or any of the other girls who would like to share, where do you learn about this? Where have you had the opportunity to learn about Sikh history, Sikh examples?
Well, we learn about it in our Punjabi school. Every Sunday we go to Punjabi school and they teach us about our history of Sikh history and Virsa. That's what we call it.
Okay.
Virsa.
Excellent. Anyone else wants to share? Is there a particular Sakhi or anything that sticks out for anyone else that they would like to share with everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I actually wanted to answer where we learn all this. We also learn about all this history by our parents and grandparents too.
Okay. So do your parents and grandparents, do they tell you like bedtime stories, or is it just maybe when you're sitting at the dinner table? When do you have conversations about Sikh history?
Hello, it's
Hi.
Sashikal. It's Sital again.
Uh-huh.
And I had a Sakhi that motivated us, and it was about Guru Arjan Dev Ji. And so when he was being tortured, he always thought about Vaigaji, and he sang a shabad. It was Tera Kiya Mita Lage. And so he never he never lost faith in Vaigaji. So it's pretty much something that motivated us.
Very nice. Is this a discussion that you had as a group?
Jasmine Ji, 1 second. Is this a... That she's going to answer this question.
Okay.
Hi, this is Sajli. Sometimes we talk about the Sakhis.
You do talk about these Sakhis as part of your group meetings?
Yeah.
Excellent. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you do in your meetings?
Hi, my name is Ria. In our meetings, we discuss different projects that we can do, and we discuss how we can help different people all the time.
Okay, excellent. And Coach Lena, can you tell us a little bit more about, what a typical meeting would maybe look like? How do you go about kind of having these discussions?
Sure. It's we start the meetings with a slogan that the girls are hoping to share with everybody at the end of the meeting.
Sure.
And then after the slogan, we do a jaikara. And then each meeting is led by a different girl. one meeting, each meeting there's a leader for that meeting who kind of coordinates how things are going to be at that meeting. And then the meeting is started by sharing some background about that project and the principle behind it, which is followed by a discussion with the girls about if this is a passion we have, what kind of things can we do, which is followed by a possible action plan, and then it's followed by a vote by the girls. If there's two projects, how do they want to go about it? If there are two different ideas, how are we going to vote on that, and then move forward from there. And then after that, we usually have a game at the, they always have fun meals that they all seem to love. I think they've had Italian and Mexican and different ones. Then it's always ended with a game, something along the lines of a team building game, because unity is very important to the group, and we believe that we can do a lot more as a group than if we were just doing these by, individually. And they always end up with a cheer. They also have a cheer that they like to share. That hopefully they can share that at the end as well.
Sure,
And
sure.
that's a typical meeting for us. It's usually 2 to 3 hours once a month.
Okay, and would you be able to give us maybe an example of one team building game that you've done? I think it might be important for our audience to hear, what kind of a game would you have done? And either you or one of the girls can share it.
I will just ask the girl if anybody wants to. If not, I will. Give me one
Sure.
second.
SikhRI, this is Tarina Kaur. And one of the games that we've played before is that at our last meeting, we chose our 5 pillars of YKG. So everybody did a play, and we got divided into groups, and then we got a value, and then we had to do a play for it, and the moms also did one, which was pretty funny.
That's good. Did you guys have more fun seeing the moms doing it than you yourselves doing it?
Yeah, that was the best part.
Excellent. So not only are you building a team component for you as part of the group, but your parents are starting to build, a team component. And if I may, can I ask Coach Lena if you give me permission to? I know you have a few parents there with you. Maybe one or two parents can share, why is this, having this group so important to them, and why, what is it doing for them and their girls?
Jasmine G, would you mind repeating your question? This is one of the mothers.
Okay, I was just asking, I just wanted to get a parent perspective of why is it so important to you as a parent to have your daughter as part of YKG, and what is this doing for you as a parent or as a family?
Okay, Sastrikal, my name is Rippy. I'm Ishar Kaur's mother. It is really important because one of the main exercises is that these girls are of similar age. They have the same experiences, such as going to the Punjabi school together, and they bond in every way, and one of the better ways that they could provide service to this community would be by coming together and taking these projects and learning how to work in a team. And when you go out into the real world, the most important asset you could have, no matter how brilliant you are, is being able to work in a team. So the biggest lesson these girls take home, besides all the wonderful Seva lessons and doing pro bono work, is that how to work in a team. Because at the end of the day, that's the most important lesson, and being able to survive as a team. There is another parent here that would like to answer that. I'm going to pass it to her.
Okay.
Her name is Kitty.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Jasmine.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. We've known each other for a while, but haven't spoken. This is Guinea.
Hanji, Hanji. So tell us a
Jasmine,
little bit.
I just wanted to share this. I think this is the best thing that has come across for Seetal. She's done small activities in school, but coming together with her friends in helping the community, the larger community. And we're hoping just not the Sikh community. I'm hoping that the kids can go ahead and do good for, community at large, basically.
Okay.
That's
Excellent.
what we're hoping.
Thank you, thank you. I do want one of the parents to share, and maybe Panji, you can if you want to. I want to know what kind of an impact has this made on your family?
I'll let Lena answer that. As far as impact on the family is concerned.
Okay.
Jasmine ji, I have another mom here who
Sure.
I would like to have her share her thoughts on this question as well.
Sure.
So we have different perspectives.
Sure.
Her name is Neelma.
Okay.
Hi, this is Neelma. How are you?
Anji, good, thank you.
I'm sorry, can you just repeat your question?
I was just wondering, I wanted to get an idea. Some of you shared, some of the parents shared that how this has been helpful to, your children. And
Yes.
since we're talking about values and we're talking about developing sense, I want to know, has this, and I know YKG hasn't been around for very long, but I want to know what kind of impact has it made on your family?
I would say it's made a very positive, in fact, impact on all our families. All of these girls have younger or older siblings, and this particular group is just girls ages 10 to 12. But I myself have a younger daughter at home who's 5, and so do the other girls have younger brothers or sisters. So when my daughter particularly comes home and talks about these values and things that she's learned, the exercises that they've done, somehow I see that it's being passed on to my younger daughter too, because she also repeats some of the things and is picking up on a lot of the values that Ria brings home. She may not necessarily talk about it all the time, but we do discuss it as a family, and I think it's very exciting and it's very encouraging for the younger ones, because one day even they will be following the same path as their older siblings.
Excellent, excellent. That actually does get into our next question for Sachikor, but I just want to make a comment before I go to Sachikor. I know, for the audience sake, I wanted to make this comment, that I know we heard only from moms, but rest assured, I know there are some dads who are listening in the kitchen, apparently.
Jasmine ji, there is a father here. We're
wanted
going to
to
put
share?
him on.
Okay, excellent.
You please feel free to ask anything you would like of
Excellent.
him. His name is Keith. Hold on.
Yes, please, Jasmine ji, ask him a few questions, please, Jasmine ji.
What's his name again?
It's,
Sat Shri Akal, Jasmine. My name is Kavaljeet.
Hanji, Sat Shri Akal, Kavaljeet ji. Welcome. I just wanted to point out the fact that, this group, YKG, is obviously a girls' group, but I'm sure, you as a father, and possibly have, you or other fathers may also have young boys, and I wanted to know, a little bit about your kind of impression of this, and what has it done for you as a father? What has it done for you as a family? And has it helped you maybe change and think about things differently? So please do share with us.
I mean, it's changed the way we think about things as a family. I mean, we are now always on the lookout for charitable causes to help, to sponsor things we may never have looked for before. For example, the Walk on Autism. It probably happens every year in the District of Columbia, but we never really honestly paid attention much to it until the YKG decided to make that part of their cause. So we're always on the lookout more, and we do have a little son, Preetham's younger brother, Agal, and he's watching what's going on, and he's definitely taking more of an interest as well in social causes as well.
That's great.
So it's been wonderful to see, and all of us are in full support of everything that the girls are doing.
Excellent. Wonderful. So I'm going to ask you one more question. I think, obviously fathers and daughters have special relationships. And I wanted to ask you that how have you seen your daughter change, or yeah, I guess, has she changed since, she started coming and being part of YKG?
I mean, definitely. Preetham has always been a very sensitive girl and has always had a good moral compass. So she's always had this motivation for service. She's very humble. So this has just become part of her now, and we make it a point to make sure we're at every meeting, at every event. No matter how far we have to drive, we're always there, and she's very passionate and committed to this, and it's wonderful to see.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much for sharing. Hanji.
If I could just add something, some of the events that have happened actually have actually a majority of these have become family events. So even though the mothers and the daughters might be the ones attending the meetings, not always, as you can see, fathers are here as well.
Right.
But it has become family events, and it's nice to have that kind of a bond with everybody as well.
Right.
And also geographically, everybody does live in different locations, so everybody has made this commitment to drive, even if it's an hour and a half drive, just to meet to the meetings.
Right.
So a lot of credit goes to everyone in the family, dads, moms, and the whole family to make this happen.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to make sure that somehow that kind of was highlighted, and so I'm glad you're doing that, and because it's so important. Or sometimes, the focus becomes upon, okay, if it's the girls, meeting, then let them just go to it and it'll get taken care of. But obviously, you've consciously all decided that this is something that you feel is important enough for you to be part of, because it's making a change and impact on your daily living and the actions that are going to be taking place because of this. So I congratulate you on that. I'm going to go on to ask Sachi Kaur, and then after that, Tarina, I'll ask you a question as well. And Sachi, the question to me is, and I think a lot of the audience members also have these questions, the next two questions, and that is that, what do you want the Sikh world to know about the projects you do? What is so important that what should the Sikh world know?
Hi, my name is Sachi. Our projects are to make the world a better place, and it's for the good of humankind. We plan to serve in a humble and kind manner because our motivation is seva. If there is a need for outreach and we truly feel we can make a difference, we will be there. Where our community needs help, we will be there. We like to say, have no fear, YKG is here.
Excellent. So what is really interesting, if I may add, is that even though you're very willing to say, if our community needs us, we're going to definitely be there, but you're also very cautious about the fact that it's not, being a Sikh doesn't mean only helping a Sikh, right? That's why I see why all of you are doing projects that are not focused only on Sikh needs. So wonderful.
Yeah.
And Tarina Kaur, this is kind of the last official question that we have of you, but I'm hoping that some other questions will come up and some triggers will come up. So my question to you is, you're doing this, all of you as a group are doing this wonderful job, the Young Khalsa Girls, you're doing wonderful projects. And how can the Sikh world support you?
Well, first I would like to say, on behalf of YKG, we would like to thank Sikh Research Institute and Jasmine Auntie for giving us the opportunity and coordinating this webinar. And I think the Sikh world can support us in many ways. One of them being following the 5 pillars of YKG, as these were reflected by our gurus. We want to emphasize it's not about the money, but we may need financial support. We want to do seva with our own 20 hands, and if the Sikh world can carry out our projects in their own community, we can make 20 hands into millions. If each Sikh person can help one other person, YKG would feel supported.
Wonderful. Excellent. So, you want the world to focus on the Sikh world, to focus on the 5 pillars, right, that YKG stands for. And can you repeat those for all of us, please?
Of course. The pillars are courage, humbleness, seva, unity, and honesty. Sorry.
And honesty. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. And you're saying also, you've made it very clear that it's really not about needing money, but it's about, getting little projects done in in different communities. And I think one of the questions that had come earlier, and I had sent it to Coach Lena, and Lena, somehow I can't see that question anymore. And I believe the question had asked, what kind of local projects can be done? Can you read that question for us, please? We may have answered it, but I just want.
Jasmine, what was?
I sent a question to you.
I think the question about what projects are they planning to do in the next 2 years?
Oh,
was that the question?
There was a question there was someone from the audience that sent us a question. If that audience member wouldn't mind sending it to us again, I just want to make sure that that question has been, I think the question was either what local things you're doing or what local things others can also
Jasmine
do.
Ji, I do see the question, so I'm going to just read it to the girls in 1 minute.
Okay.
Sashikal Jasmine Ji, I just saw the question.
Hanji.
There will be, definitely, we would want the group to grow and we would want other girls to join. This group started very spontaneously, and now as we have come together, we are hoping, as we have a foundation, that this can grow, hopefully locally and eventually, even nationally, because it's the values that we would want all the youth to practice and really incorporate in their lives. So definitely we are hoping to add girls in the future.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for answering that question. And that question, I believe, was from Gurpreet Bindra, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so that's an excellent thing for us to keep in mind, that this is not something that is currently it is focused geographically because that was the need of it and the spontaneousness of it, but definitely do you feel that maybe there can be different chapters in different cities, different states perhaps, right?
I think eventually that would be the hope. Once the group is larger, we hope that this would kind of grow. Definitely local chapters, even, or nationally. I think we do need a strong foundation for the group, as any other group, to be successful, and that would be the hope for the future. Also, we hope that when this group started, it definitely started with the age group of 10 to 12-year-old girls, but we have a lot of girls in our own community who are younger and older, and we are hoping that we can, in the near future, also change that so some of the other girls can also join in as well. Right. And I think the girls would like that support as well, from younger, older girls, and they have a lot they can support each other with as well.
Right, right. Excellent, excellent. And I want to just let the audience know that we do have a few more minutes left, so if you have questions that have come up either from what we've already asked or, a question that you've been wanting to ask, please do feel free to put it in the question panel so that we can, get those questions answered. But in the meantime, I have a question perhaps that I wanted to just put out to the girls at YKG, and I think one of the things that one of you answered in the beginning was that education is very important to you. And I wanted to look at it from the perspective of what are your thoughts on how is it and why is it important for us to educate the Sikh community about what Sikhi is and what Sikhi values are? Is it important? And if so, what are some ways that we can go and do that? And then the third one would be is why?
Sat Sri Akal, this is Tarina Kaur again, and I wanted to say the reason why I think it's important to educate people on Sikhi is because we want people to know about us, because even though Sikh is one of the largest religions, a lot of people don't know about it. They know about Christianity, they know about Hinduism, but they don't know about Sikh. So we feel like it's important. And usually people get teased because they don't know and they're curious. So that's why we want to educate them.
Okay. So Trina, that's a great answer, and I completely understand that when we're talking about educating people who are non-Sikhs, right? Who don't call themselves Sikhs. But do you feel that the Sikhs are educated enough about what Sikhi is?
I had another girl who wanted to answer the first question. Would that be okay? And then we can go back to the second question?
Sure, absolutely.
Preeta would like to answer the first question you had asked.
Okay.
Is it important?
Well, I think it's important to learn about Sikhism because, like at my school, when I first moved, my friends would ask me, like, whoa, you have such long hair, what religion are you from? And I would say Sikhism. And they would say, what's that? And they would have no idea what it was, even though Sikhism is one of the largest religions in the whole world. So that's why I wanted to educate lots of people about who we are and what religion we have.
So, Preeta, let me ask you, when they asked you that question, did you feel pretty confident that you knew everything about Sikhi, or you knew enough about Sikhi to go tell them what it is?
I'm still learning, but,
Okay.
you know, I still feel confident to tell my friends,
Good.
even though, like, because I know a lot of stuff about the history, but I'm still learning constantly what it is.
Okay, excellent. And what was their reaction when you would tell them things?
Jasmine? No,
They
go
would
ahead.
be-
Please, Preeta.
They would be, like some of the things they would be shocked because it's so different from lots of religions. There was so much courage and humbleness in our religion, and I mean, like they would appreciate listening to me, I think, because they enjoyed learning something from me.
Excellent, excellent.
I had two girls, Jasmine ji, I have
Sure.
two girls who would like to answer your second question as well. Do Sikhs know enough about Sikhi?
Okay.
I have Ishar Kaur first, who would like to answer that, and then Tarina also wanted to
Okay, sure.
add on to that.
Absolutely.
Sasika, this is Ishar again. I would say yes, because we all go to Punjabi school and we learn like what the Sakhis and Boli and the history, and no, because like some people because some people don't come to Punjabi school, and some people don't really know.
Okay. Now, did all of you go to the same Punjabi school?
Yes.
Okay.
Some people.
Okay.
There are three Khalsa schools actually, Jasmine ji.
Okay.
So due to geographical reasons, they do go to different schools. I think Tarina wanted to add a little bit to that question as well.
Sure.
Satsrikal, this is Trina Gore again, and I wanted to say Sikhs do know a lot about Sikhs, but Sikh does mean learner and Guru does mean teacher, so that means we are constantly learning our Guru's teachings, because we can't always see all their teachings in Punjabi school. We would have to go through Guru Granth Sahib because we're constantly learning.
Right.
And right.
Good, excellent. So yes, I think we're all in agreement that there is importance for us to learn about what Sikhi is so that we are able to go and share it with everyone if that's what we want to do. But we also have to remember that we are constantly needing to learn about this because it's almost like a constant reminder, right? that if you want to make sure that your values are, I mean, why do they have stop signs everywhere, right? Because it's a reminder that you have to stop and think about this. So similarly, we have to continue to learn, and you know, once as we're learning, we need to keep putting into practice, and that's what I'm hoping that all of you will continue to do, and you know, make sure that that happens. So one of Sikh Research Institute's job is, or the main job, is to actually help our community, the internal community, learn more about Sikhi and help people become Guru-oriented and Guru-focused. So we're, you know, that's, to us, that's very important. And I might say that I think most of you are probably from GNFA Gurduara, or some of you. And I know that you're actually in your Gurmat and Punjabi school, you're using the Soji curriculum that we developed. So we're proud to kind of hear that we have these nice, you know, young girls who have kind of gone through some of the program and are putting it into action, and that's really the more important thing, you know, is that what do you do with the stuff that you learn, and how do you put it out there. So excellent. I do believe there's another comment or a question that has come up. Or maybe, can you read the question, Lena? Coach Lena?
Is it going okay?
Coach Lena, are you there?
Actually, yes, I do see it. Jasmine ji, I do see it.
Hanji, can you read it out for us, please?
Somebody has shared that there's also a group of, we have a local group of boys and girls who also get together once a month to listen to Sakhis and learn Kirtan. The kids do projects like food donations, volunteering at a pantry, but it'd be nice to coordinating a Seva project with the YKG group. Well, thank you so much, and on behalf of Young Khalsa Girls, the YKG group, I would like to say that that would be great, because if we can get our youth to help each other and do activities together, especially for Seva projects, we would want nothing more than that. I don't know if this question was by, is this a local group of boys and girls, or I didn't know what the geographical location was, but we could definitely try to coordinate something, and it would be an honor for us to do that for all the girls and boys.
I think this was from Gurpreet Bindra in California.
Gurpreet ji, thank you so much for that information and the comment, and I'm sure we could definitely coordinate a project, even though we are in different geographical locations, because there is so much we could do around the world. And I know in our meetings it has come up many of times that we could do things for people across the world, and we would hope that we could get all the youth from here and California together and do a Seva project that everybody is passionate about.
Excellent. Thank you all so much. I wanted, before I say my thank yous, I wanted the YKG group to share with us, and I think, you know, it'll be nice for the audience to hear as well, their slogan and their cheer, and then I'll just take a few minutes and we'll wrap up as we're running out of time now. We're getting close.
They will go ahead and do their slogan first, and then I'm sorry, they'll do their cheer first.
Okay.
And then their slogan. So I'll give it to the girls now.
Okay.
You all rock and so do we, because we are the YKG.
Thank you. That was a very cute cheer. And your slogan.
And now
Very nice, very nice. So, the,
as you can tell, like to do the Jasmine ji, as you can tell, they like to do the Jasmine ji, as you can tell, they like to do their cheer and hooray at the end. I'm sure you heard that.
that's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much to Coach Lena and YKG Girls. You know, your slogan really does kind of hit home and say, you know, it's about the values that you need to kind of take and then put it into action. We're very proud of you that you're doing that, and we hope you continue to do that with Vaiguru's grace, as it's an extremely important thing, and it's very important for you to know that you young girls are also future Sikh leaders, and so how you portray yourself, how you take the Sikhi education that you know, and how you make sure that the values um, are shown to be in light of what Sikhi really is a very big responsibility that you have. But I personally, from listening to all of you, I have faith that you are going to do a good job. And my recommendation, my suggestion to you would be is that the more we learn about what our Guru Sahibs have taught us, the more we learn about what the Guru's teachings are through Gurbani, the more we are going to just fall in love. And when we fall in love, automatically all our actions are through love. So I hope you continue to do that. Thank you very much. I do have a few other thank yous to make. I want to make sure that the SikhRI team knows that we are very thankful to them as well. Surinder Pal Singh is our research associate in Punjab, and he helps with developing our material for us, so we want to thank him. We also have these webinars. They're provided free of charge, and we have sponsors from time to time, and because of that we're able to do these free of charge. So this particular webinar was sponsored on behalf of Gunny Kaur, who is a 3-year-old who just turned 3 years old in November. So we want to thank her and her family for making this sponsorship, so that we can know more about these young girls who are going to be future Sikh leaders, and how they need to continue to keep working at it, because it's just beginning. So thank you so much, Gunny Kaur and family. And again, as I said, thank you so much to the YKG girls and Coach Lena and all the parents in the room. If anyone from the audience has any questions, please feel free to write to us at info@sikhri.org. And if you have any particular questions for YKG, we would be happy to forward it to them. And Gurpreet Bindraji, you can coordinate a project with them and keep us updated about it too, because we want to know how these webinars help all of you to to take it a step forward. It's not just about maybe listening to it, but what do we do with the information that we get. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for giving us your Saturday afternoon to do this. And all of you have a wonderful rest of the day. I'm sure it's a little cold on the East Coast compared to it is in Dallas over here. Any last comments from you, Coach Lena?
Hanji, I just wanted to say thank you so much to Sikh Research Institute, to Jasmine Ji for coordinating this and encouraging the girls, and also for being such a great role model to our girls. And your Soji curriculum, the workshops that you have done, I know personally we have done them. You have come to GNFA as well. Thank you for everything you're doing for our children, for the community, and we really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you, all of you. And when we're going to launch a testimonial form or a feedback form, So if you would all fill it out and give us feedback, we would really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa,
Khalsa,
Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.